here, Trip Eyes, now with my good friend Rex Hoggard. We're going to talk about this guy, well, that guy, Rory McIlroy. Set to be number one this week without even playing, Rex, but new number one in the world. Now, it got me thinking about the top five right now. And DJ's still in there, but it's a long way from him to get to number one and the people he has between him. So we'll start with DJ, and then we'll work our way up to this guy. But I don't see DJ getting back to number one unless what?
Well, first off, I want to lift the veil on what happens behind the scenes when we start talking about these things. Number one, when it comes up that a player is going to get to world number one sitting on his couch, nobody likes that.
Yeah, that's true.
Just so we're clear about that one. How does he get back to world number one? He does whatever it took for him to get there. He wins the U.S. Open. He wins on a regular basis. He goes out and he's a dominant type player. We had this conversation on Monday on the podcast with Ryan Lavner, and this isn't an indictment against DJ or his game or the way he plays golf. This has everything to do with those top four players right now and then the guys behind him, and show me who he's going to beat among that group. This guy being top on the list. Show me what part of his game is going to fall out in the next 6 months that's going to open the door for DJ.
Yeah, no, I don't see it. But here's the one thing I will say about DJ. Compared to this guy, can anybody make the game look easier when they're on?
No.
I mean, including Brooks, John Rahm, and JT. No knock on them, but these two guys can make the game look effortless.
Absolutely. And I would put Brooks in there, specifically at the majors. He makes it look too easy at the majors. I don't quite understand how he's able to do that. It was a cool conversation I was having with Claude Harmon III, who also teaches DJ, and it was kind of about distance and how far players hit the ball. And he said DJ hears a lot about, fans don't want to see him hit wedges all the time. And DJ's response to that, and I love this, do they not think I could hit a 5-iron if I wanted to? I could if I wanted to. I don't have to because I hit the ball that far. So, yes, he's still in that category with Rory, but there's no cracks there. I don't see any cracks in Rory. And Brooks, he hasn't done a lot so far this season. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt until we get to the first two majors on that one.
Yeah.
John Rahm has played phenomenally. Justin Thomas has 2 wins this season. Again, this has nothing to do or little to do with DJ and everything else to do with those speed bumps. He's got to figure out how to get by.
Right, exactly. And you know, when you throw in Brooks in major championships, John Rahm, his last 15 starts or 12 starts, he's had 3 wins worldwide. I mean, and JT, same thing. Last 12 starts, he's had 15 or 3 wins worldwide. And now that gets me thinking. Now let's go outside the top 5 right now, and let's just assume DJ gets past, who will it be, and who has the ability to stay there? And I think I know the answer.
You can cue the picture of Tiger Woods right now. If anybody's paying attention, just cue that picture.
Yeah, exactly.
Tiger's right behind him at 6 right now, right behind DJ at 6 right now. And if he continues to do, look, I was on the wrong side of that fence last year in Japan. I did not have very high expectations for Tiger simply because we know what he looks like when he's not 100% healthy and he can't put the work in away from the golf course.
Yeah.
He showed up and blew me away, blew everybody away to get win number 82. And there was nothing I saw at Torrey Pines that gave me any alarms other than maybe a little bit of rust. Maybe he needed some time off after the President's Cup. And I think he would probably be the guy that, as long as he continues on that trajectory, he's going to do it. But the other guy that stands out is Xander Schauffele, if I'm being honest.
That's true. Yeah. Look, this guy's a big game hunter, man. He really, you look at him, he's done well in majors. He's got a great major record. He's got, credits to his victory list include a tour championship, this guy's won big tournaments against high-quality fields, and I love his game. I love his confidence. I love how he and his father work well together. He's got that athlete's mentality that he got from his father as a former Olympian, or going to be Olympian, and then, of course, if those of you don't know, his dad was going to be in the Olympics, is my understanding, right?
He was,
and got hit by a drunk driver, right?
I think that's
Germany.
the story.
I think that's the story, and ultimately didn't. But he was a great athlete, and he instilled all that in Xander. But again, let's go back. We'll circle back real quick with Rory Brooks, because I think we saw the seeds planted of a budding rivalry in the future. And we saw Brooks, of course, throw a little gasoline on that fire. And Rory tried to kind of downplay it. But I think in the back of Rory's mind, he knows that Brooks and he are both capable of kind of doing the same things in different ways. But there could be a good rivalry for the game if that happens.
There could be, and we always jump on these things way too soon. I mean, we sit and talk about rivalries week in, week out basis. However, I think this one's got real legs to it. And the reason I say that, and this goes all the way back to the Player of the Year vote. And I think you and I have had this conversation a lot back when you were doing the voting, and I think that was a mandate from the players, from the rank and file, as you love it when I say. And the reason behind it is everyone will agree that Brooks had a much better year in the majors than Rory did, but if you look at the bigger picture overall, Rory had a better season week in and week out, and I think this was kind of part of everyone listening to what Brooks says. I'm only worried about 4 weeks out of the year, and saying, we play golf 44 other weeks out of the year. Like, these other 44 weeks count. Yeah. It was an interesting statement that I think the players who voted made.
And I think also, though, there's a little bit of a popularity issue. I mean,
sure.
Rory's very popular. Brooks is not disliked, I wouldn't say, but he's not like Rory. I mean, there's not a guy.
Not a warm and fuzzy guy.
No, not at all. But Rory's just a solid, great guy. And not to knock Brooks, he's different. I mean, he's a different kind of guy.
You talked about that athlete's mentality.
Yeah, it's an athlete mentality, more like a football player.
And it's funny, you bring up the popularity contest, and you were doing the voting for this one, so I'm going to lay it on you. Back when Rory was a rookie, he actually won that season. Ricky Fowler did not win that season, and the players voted Ricky Fowler the Rookie of the Year, which I think in a very, very similar deal, that was a popularity contest. Yeah. Everybody likes Ricky. I think they've gotten to the point where everybody likes Rory now, and certainly his game proved it.
Oh, not to say he didn't deserve it. I mean, one of the players who won the Tour Championship, won the FedEx Cup.
What are you waiting here?
And that's where I think the real thing of the players was, look, majors are important. We know that. Those are career-defining moments. There's no question about it. They always will be considered elevation above, but overall body of work is also important, and just as important as your performance in 4 weeks out of the year. And a players' championship is, look, it's the best field in golf.
It's the best field in golf. It's a rich purse. All the things. Whether if we call it a major or not, I think it's just semantics. We just keep dancing around it.
It is, yeah.
And what I loved when that vote came down, and not to keep revisiting, is that you could go back just a few years before that, when Tiger Woods had gotten hurt in 2008. Of course, he wins the U.S. Open. Padraig Harrington won 2 majors that season, and I remember us asking Tiger, who'd you vote for Player of the Year? And he didn't blink. It was Patty, and why? He's got 2, I got 1. It was very, very simple. It's funny how that mindset has changed. Maybe not with Tiger, but certainly among the players.
Well, I think the FedEx Cup has evolved into something very important, and people know that if you can win that year-long race, because it's about properly weighted now. And I know it seemed gimmicky the way they started the Tour Championship with the staggered scoring, et cetera. But overall, it worked. I mean, the best player won.
Best player won. Look, we're paying attention to golf during a time of year when you normally don't pay attention to golf. The best players are playing in these events. That's really just the formula. That was as good as they could have hoped, and that's what they ended up with.
Yeah, and I tell you what, we're going to hope. Not hope. I know he's going to have a big year. He's Rex. I'm Trip. If you like what you saw, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel.
You're going to have a big year.